No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Rant with Pough Ant, where the mics stay hot, the takes are bold, and the truth is unfiltered. No scripts, just two voices bringing the heat with heart, real, raw, and unapologetically honest. What's good with you, my boy?
What's good with you, dog?
Hey, we back. Another episode. The timing of this was it was a little difficult because we usually would have had this episode on yesterday, but with regionals still ongoing the way they are, today seemed like a probably a better day to do it. Plus other stuff. I mentioned it to you. We didn't talk about our mic. We had an HOA meeting yesterday. Hilarious. I'll put it like that. Hilarious. And we have to elect new officers. So, huh?
You on the board?
No. I'm not. If I was, they probably kick me out the.
Right.
That's anyway. It made me think about that Geico commercial with with the people coming, the lady coming around cutting the signs and stuff.
Yeah. I couldn't be in no HOA though, bro.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
The only reason I say that, dog, is my wife. She gonna have a problem with the HOA, dog.
Yeah, trying to do the different stuff with the garden.
All the gardening and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't let that fly.
I got something in my beard. I don't know what that is.
She don't even let me mow, and so the wildflowers and stuff can bloom. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd have problems.
Wow. Hey, speaking of that, let me give a shout out to young Dylan, bro. I hit a new level in dad mode. I could get Friday. I came home from work and cut the front yard, but it got late because of same time I got. So I got up Saturday to cut the backyard. He's like, Dad, I cut it. I just need a little supervision. So all right, he cut the entire backyard by himself.
You about to get to that point where you can let him do it and you just sit back and watch.
I got pictures. I grabbed when he did that. I went and grabbed my weed eater and started doing the
you not got that part while he do the rest.
He did the rest, and I was like, all right, good stuff. Now it was some lines.
Oh yeah, it's practice.
You know what he said to me though? I said, you still got lines. He said, I ain't do that. And he walked off. He just walked off. But yeah. Woo, Zach, we finna get to it.
Get there.
What's good with you, Josh? But let's go ahead and get to it, man. Give a shout out to our sponsors over at W. W is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. W is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolytes. W achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, no fillers, no artificial color or dyes. Try W today by scanning the QR code on screen or visit them on the website at bit.ly/no chill W. W, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. All right, my boy. Let's get to it. It's been a wild weekend in regionals.
That's an understatement.
It's funny because we were in the group chat, and I'll start with actually it started Friday, and I started posting, and I was like, "Oh, we got a belt ass alert. Oh, we got BTA warnings," and it was surprising to see teams like, who was it that was putting it on Florida early?
Carolina.
Who what?
East Carolina.
East Carolina was tearing Florida anew.
Yeah. Godwin, man, that man been there for forever. Like, that's a program that never really is like overpowering, like that 5 in the country, nothing like that. But that's a team you never really want to play in postseason because they been there before. They're not scared of the moment, and like you seen versus Florida, they can put some runs on the board.
Yeah, you had and while we're at it, let me go ahead and pull up the graphic. Teams just looking at the bracket. This is actual current bracket live as we speak. But you had Wright State taking on Vanderbilt early, and Vanderbilt won that game on Friday, but it was controversial with the home run. Wright State got their lick back.
Not only got they lick back, they made it even sweeter by sending Vandy home.
Exactly.
And nothing controversial about that one, you know what I mean? But disappointing if you Vandy, man. You the first number 1 overall seed to not advance to the regional final, bro. Like that's man, that's you never want to make history for something like that, man. But not only, I mean, the number 1 overall seed go home early, but
number 2, Texas out of there. And our good man Zach, he points out SEC laid an egg. Ole Miss and Tennessee are losing now, and Oklahoma got killed by UNC earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can keep going further. We number 1, number 2 go home. You mentioned Tennessee, Oklahoma losing right now. Tennessee, Ole Miss losing right now. Oklahoma losing earlier today. Then you got Alabama, Georgia, who didn't come out of their regional. It's Kentucky. Yeah, I mean
Florida. We've named, just about everybody.
They didn't have a good weekend, that's for sure, bro.
Yeah, so
due to the large number of teams they put in the tournament, they still gonna have a few of them left. You know what I mean? Like the Auburn, Arkansas, Tennessee, if they make it, types of the world. They still gonna have a few teams in there, but like majority of them went home. They went packing, bro.
Yeah, 13 SEC teams made the tournament. As of right now, if I'm not mistaken, the count down is 8 or 9. I'm sorry. Let me go back and we can count. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 will have been eliminated. We got Ole Miss and Tennessee who are down at the current moment, and then you have LSU.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, man. And then I mean SEC ain't the only ones who had a bad weekend though. You know what I mean? Like Big
Oregon and
didn't
Oregon
have a
State.
very good weekend other than like Arizona. Oklahoma State didn't do too hot. Kansas State didn't do too hot. TCU got bounced early. I think they went 2-Q in the Oregon regional. So I mean, like Big 12, and they didn't have obviously the numbers that the SEC had, but a lot of people thought TCU should have been a host team, but they were one of the highest ranked 2 seeds, and didn't perform like it. And then, like I said, they had 3 of the last 4 of the last 4 in teams, and none of them really played like they should have been there. So
Facts.
Arizona, give credit to Arizona though. They the only ones holding it down for the conference. But it ain't looking good. But you got to give a lot of credit to these mid majors though. Like
That was my next point.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing about baseball though, bro, is anybody's game, man. And that's the only sport as of now. I feel like it might change if with the scholarship changes that they're making. If teams are able to give everybody full scholarships, I think that might make a lot more parity in the sport than we've seen over the history of the sport.
I think we're seeing it now already, but I think, but to your credit, and I ain't mean to cut you off, but to your credit, a lot more parity when they limit these rosters back to pre-COVID numbers, and these players who may be a off the bench type player for your, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's going to help some, but what I think what's going to hurt the smaller schools is like right now the way the scholarships are set up. If you're let's say Southern Miss, for example, right? You can give a kid a 40% scholarship, where a bigger school like Ole Miss might only could give him a 20% scholarship, and so you get a kid over Ole Miss because you're offering him more scholarships. But if there's 34 scholarships available for baseball going forward, there is no longer, I can only give you 20% of a scholarship. So Ole Miss can give him a full ride just like Southern Miss can. So they're going to go to Southern Miss, or is he going to go to Ole Miss? You said so. I feel like some of the talent that ends up at these smaller schools right now might be ending up at some of the bigger schools because the bigger schools have the same thing to offer and more than what the smaller school can.
I think it's going. I understand, and I agree with your point, but I think it's going to be on the flip side of that too, to where I've given all these scholarships to these kids. Now I'm out of scholarships. You know, hey, the guy, like I said, the guy who is not necessarily who. I mean, I don't know how baseball do. I don't know if they do.
I get what you're saying though. Like the last 6 on the bench who get cut or whatever, they're gonna have to drop down somewhere. I get that point, but what I'm saying is after next season, that's not available no more. You see what I'm saying? That's only a 1-year thing that's gonna help the small schools. But going forward, every year, the big schools can get the best high school talent and transfer because they can offer the same scholarship that the smaller schools offer.
I think we saying different things. I get what I'm saying. You don't only have 36 spots or 34 spots. I have many spots you have.
But the only time that's gonna hurt the bigger schools is the first year. After the first year, they're gonna be stuck at 34. They're already at 34.
Yeah.
So they're not.
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
What you're saying there. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So
I misunderstood.
That's only a 1-year thing that helps the small schools, but and it does help them. But after that year, when the big school needs to go get 5 players, they finna get the best 5 because the smaller school can't offer nothing that the big school can't offer.
Yeah. Just in the Knoxville Regional, Tennessee just tied it up, and are batting with first and third with one out in the bottom of the 4th. Speaking of that, that's the next thing I want to get to. Game 7s, and you're a host seed.
Yeah.
Why So
bro,
that rule, if you're a host seed, so this is how I think seeding should go. I understand hey, whoever has however many, blah blah blah, home, who's been home the most gets the doesn't. I get that, all well and done for game 6. But if there's a forced game 7 and you're a host seed, I feel as though you should have that advantage. You've earned that right to be a host seed. You should be home field for that game.
And not just that though. Like, all right, so if let's take the Baton Rouge regional, right? All right, so LSU beat the number 4 seed in the first game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then number 2 DBU beat the number 3 seed in the other game, right?
Correct.
So whenever number 3 plays number 4, number 3 should be the home team. They got a higher seed. You see, like their seed should be home every time. If that's the case, what's the point of seeding these teams?
I agree with. This is the only caveat. I think that game between where the 1 seed or whatever seed that has stayed in a winner's bracket, I think that game, I don't mind them being the away team, and just for that one game. And here's the reason why. I feel as though as a reward for making out of the loser's bracket, I think, okay, for one game you can be the but if it goes to a game 7,
I disagree. If I don't want every game, why am I getting punished by being the away team?
That's fair too. That's fair.
They lost and had to come out the losers bracket. Why are we rewarding them for losing?
That's very fair. I honestly, I have no qualms about that.
I should be home every time. It don't matter who I play. I'm
not going to argue. I'm not arguing against that. I'm not going to argue against that, and I think that's fair. But yeah, Tennessee just took the lead on a wild pitch too.
The 4 seed should never be a home. Should never be home. You're a 4 seed.
You know what? And I'm being honest with you. You know why that makes so much sense to me? If you are a 8 seed in the NFL playoffs, you're never the home team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
If you are even
if you make it to the second round, you're not a home. You know, I'm like,
you're not a home seed. You're always gonna. If you are in the NBA, because they play so many games, I understand swapping it. I understand that, but that's different. So yeah, I
just no, bro. No.
Yeah. Like I said, Tennessee just took the lead on a wild pitch. They now have first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Just want to look here. Bottom of the 4th in the Oxford Regional, and Ole Miss is down to Murray State 3-5.
The Racers came to play, man.
Yeah, they did, man. They did.
If you the ACC, you got to feel good about yourself, though, for the most part.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you got Louisville coming out of the Vandy regional, which nobody saw happening. You know, Duke winning their regional over Georgia, which some probably saw as a surprise. North Carolina took care of business. Florida State took care of business. Yeah, Clemson dropped their regional, but for the most part, the ACC did their thing. Yeah, NC State lost too. Yeah, they lost, but
yeah, considering how many whatchamacallits that they got in, they actually got in. That's fair.
Yeah, they put up. The NC State lost, but they put up a fight though.
Yeah. My bad. I'm trying to put this other stuff in here real quick before we move on.
But yeah, man, it was a crazy weekend, man. You saw four number one seeds lose on the first day, and that's and they all came from the same states.
Yeah.
2 teams and 2 Mississippi teams.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, that was wow. Brian, he said, if you walk 11 batters, you will lose. Not the first time LSU lost this way this year. So I do want to talk about this real quick. I said last night, I was like, I got a bad feeling about this game. I'm a little nervous about this game. It wasn't a talent thing. It was more of this reminded me SEC tournament. This is what I mean. When you're pitching, when LSU goes to our third pitcher or whoever is going to pitch on that third day or whatever, if our bats are not hot, doesn't matter how good our pitching may be, if your bats are not hot, LSU just it seems like everything just falls apart.
Interesting.
That was what worried me about game 3. Now tonight, I'm nervous, but I got a feeling that LSU can pull it off. At least it's a hope that LSU can pull it off.
So on the Bayou recap, when discussing this regional, I said I was worried about the bats.
Yep.
And Blake tried to reassure me that, we were at home. We don't have no problem with our bats when we're at home. And in the first 2 games, I almost messaged him and said, hey, I was completely wrong about the bats. You know what I mean? Like, but yesterday, they started off okay, I guess, pretty good. And they just disappeared. And that's what I was worried about, not being able to get timely hits. You know what I mean? Whenever you needed them. And I feel like you had Evans available that you possibly could have used. You had Cowan who you possibly could have used, but you never were able to get it close enough after you gave up the 6 runs in the first 2 innings. You never really made it, or first 3 innings, I should say. You never really made it close enough after that again to where you could have went to Cowan or Evans to kind of shut it out at the end, and you ended up giving up some more runs. You know what I mean? So ultimately, them first 6 runs you gave up, not being able to go more than 3 innings, 2 and a third innings with Shores and Newt, that's really what killed you, in my opinion. Because if you could have held them to like 3-4 runs, I think you could have possibly went to Evans or Cowan down the stretch, and then they wouldn't have got them last 4 runs. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I just feel like you lost the game in the 3rd inning, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, your best.
Tennessee just hit a 3-run home run to go up 6-2.
Yeah, like they might help the SEC a little bit. Or over here dominating USC. I thought USC would play pretty well this weekend. They're trying to make a resurgence out there in California, as considering they in the Big Ten, and it's only like 3 West Coast teams over there. They should dominate the Big Ten pretty easily. But Big Ten had a bad weekend though. The advance.
Anything else before we wrap up on the College World Series? Or actually the tournament, sorry.
What was the outcome of the Hattiesburg Regional? Did Miami or Southern Miss win?
They haven't played yet. They played at
the UCLA did advance.
UCLA, you're absolutely right. Southern Miss takes on Miami at 8:00. So that game, the Hattiesburg and the Baton Rouge will be played at the same time.
Okay. If Southern Miss win that, you gotta give kudos to Sunbelt.
Yes. Big kudos.
Nobody really gave Southern Miss a chance to win that regional. I picked them to win when I was on the radio Friday, just because I ain't trust Alabama.
Mhm.
Up and down for me, and I ain't really know what I was gonna get out of Miami. I ain't watched them all season, so I just went with Southern Miss, and everybody texted in like, "Oh no, it's gonna be Alabama. It's gonna be Alabama. It's gonna Miss." And then Coastal. I mean, that was
that was
impressive too.
yeah.
Murray State scores another run. They're up 6-3.
Not looking too good
Top
for
of the
Mississippi.
fifth. 2 on, no outs.
All right, moving on real quick to football.
Football.
Yes, sir. I don't know if you saw this. The
Oh, yeah.
National Football is it Foundation? They're just their college football coaching eligibility criteria. Basically, the eligibility criteria of, as many of you know, I honestly didn't even know. I didn't think there was a specific number. Say what?
It was 60%, right?
It was 60%. National Football Foundation. What I say? Federation? I don't know. I didn't realize there was a number associated with it until the whole Les Miles lawsuit. Well, that lawsuit probably is going to get dropped because they changed that number from 60% to 59.5%. So with that change, that allows several coaches to get in there. Most notable, and the one I think should be in regardless, is Tennessee just hit another home run. Who I think should be in regardless, Mike Leach.
Right.
Mike Leach had a win percentage of 596.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if he would have coached the bowl game the season he passed, and they won, they would have pushed him to over 60% that he needed or whatever. And so I was kind of like in favor of like giving him credit for that win, though, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think they won. But either way, though, yeah, he should definitely be in. Let's get into.
Yes, Les Miles gets in. So Les Miles now has a 597.
We should clarify. They're now eligible
to get in. Correct.
They're not guaranteed to get in.
Also, with that, this does not take effect until 2027.
Yeah.
Do want to throw that out there. Eligible now, Mike Leach, Les Miles,
Bo Schembechler,
Bo Shem, Rich Rodriguez, and there's one more that I saw. But yeah, that was huge, bro.
Who was the other one?
Hold on, I'm looking here. I think it listed them out. Jackie Sherrill.
Oh yeah.
Jackie Sherrill, who he was right on the number at 595.
Yeah.
So Pitt, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State. So Jackie Sherrill changed. He kind of changed the game, man. He went to Texas A&M and had all. He would have all walk-ons on the kickoff team. So yeah, he really exemplifying that 12th man. So yeah, but man, I saw this story and I just thought this was a great nod.
I mean, 59.5 is a very strange number, but I'm glad they did it so Mike Leach.
Yeah, I completely agree. Also, the Hall of Fame ballot for 2026 for college football is out, and there are some notable names that are eligible. No, you about to get kicked out. On that list, Cam Newton, RG3,
Hall of Famers.
There was another one, Mark Ingram,
Hall of Famer.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Dominican Sue as well.
Hall of Famer.
So yeah. Then I started looking at, because hold on, where was it? It had the list. And I started looking at some of these names. I was like, why aren't they already in? And maybe they are, and maybe I'm just reading it wrong. Morton Anderson. Eric Bieniemy.
I mean, Morton Anderson was a kicker though, so I could kind of see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean, Dez Bryant's kind of I kind of saying that he's kind of young. This might be first ballot. Dallas Clark. What's the other guys? It was another one I saw that I was like, I think he should definitely be in. And Aaron Donald, of course.
Yeah.
I'm finna tell you, Sebastian Janikowski. Again, another kicker, but dog, he was one of the first kickers.
I think you got a better case for saying like Alan Faneca should have been in.
Percy Harvin, Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, Percy. Yeah, you got to like over a kicker.
Josh Heupel, that was another one.
Yeah, I could see him being in there.
Yeah,
so, man, Sean Jackson go 2 more, bro.
Yeah, it might be a wrap for. But yeah, that's some of the names that are Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, he should be in there.
Yeah, a lot of people look. That's another thing we have to learn to separate. You gotta learn to separate
You gotta learn to separate
the college from
college. Yeah, 100%. College wise, all them guys should be in for the most part.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Cam should be unanimous in my opinion.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, he should be. And I know a lot of people don't like RG3 or whatever.
Oh, I lost you.
Okay,
is that me? Go ahead, keep talking. I lost you, but I think it's just my
end. But a lot of people don't like RG3 or whatever, and he ain't had the best NFL career, but dude was electric in college.
Completely agree. Hold on. Yes. No, he's not. Joe Burrow's not eligible, baby. He ain't been out but 2 years. So, yeah, that's that. Last thing, man, that I got, and we can get ready to get up out of here. Saquon Barkley. It's the Madden 2026 cover athlete. And they got this the hurdle.
Madden curse.
I swear that's the first thing popped in my head, bro. I was like, yeah, that's the curse. That's not gonna be good. That's not gonna be good. But I do think he's probably deserving. I mean, outside of the whole curse thing, I think he is the person.
I mean, yeah. I ain't mad at they pick. I'm just saying.
If you would you want to be
on Madden?
Yeah, the Madden cover athlete. They should put Patrick Mahomes. Dylan said they should put Patrick Mahomes because he wanted to be.
I wouldn't mind being the cover because the curse ain't guaranteed to be an injury.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Could just be bad year. You know what I mean? So
it's very, very true. Extremely true. So, yeah. I got you, Kobe.
How you gonna say, that's the last thing, bro? Like we ain't even discussed the NBA playoffs.
I know. So I'm gonna tell you why I didn't, because Wednesday I thought we was gonna, really talk about it. But let's talk about it, man.
I mean, we could talk about Wednesday. We could talk about the finals, but about Indiana bouncing New York out the way they did, though. I mean,
what you trying to? Hold on, real quick. Go ahead.
I mean, a lot of people ain't give Indiana credit to even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then New York had home court in the Eastern Conference Finals, so most people was chalking it up that it was gonna be New York. And then Indiana, I mean, them boys balled, bro. Halliburton and Siakam did their thing, but and ain't nobody really giving them credit against OKC. Like people saying 5-game max, you know what I'm saying? Some people saying sweep, you know. I mean, people were saying the same thing against the Cavs. People were saying the same thing against the Knicks, and these dudes just keep winning, bro. And
Yeah.
I feel like Halliburton got robbed though, bro. I feel like
For the dog, that has to be
he
the
was definitely
funniest.
picked, bro.
Yeah. I
Like,
was trying to figure out how did they not give it to him.
I think the only reason he didn't get it is because he had a bad game 5. He only was 2 of 7. You know what I'm saying? Like 8 points. Like he didn't have a good night at all. And so I think that's the only like if he would have went like 4 or 14 or something like that, like double what he did and had like 16 points, he probably still would have got it. He scored 8 points in game 5. Like you can't disappear like that in game 5, in a closeout game. And even though he led the team in damn near every stat, but I think that's the reason why he didn't get it, because he disappeared in game 5. But I'm ready to see him versus Shea though, man. Like I think this the series the NBA wanted the least. See what I'm saying? I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
But he led the team in every category and was second in points. Like you can't deny that, bro. Like
But and I get it, but he said how he got robbed when he had a single digit game. I think it's the same way you give it to what's the boy they gave it to Iguodala because he played good defense.
Yeah, but Tyrese ain't really played good defense though.
So
and that game when he had 8 points, Siakam had 15. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't like Siakam went for 30 either. Like, but so I mean, I ain't mad at the Siakam. I just think that
I think the funniest part is just doing that.
Yeah, the reaction was funny.
The reaction is
that
the
people
funny
was
part.
gonna give it to Halliburton because he was so clutch. You know what I mean? Like the shot game 1 and the choke. You know what I mean? Like but either way, I think that's gonna kind of make him want to ball even more against OKC since he didn't get it. But
yeah, I'm good. I can't wait till we I ain't gonna say I can't wait. The WNBA been hella good.
it has been, bro.
It's been so good this season, and all people what people talk about is so wild to me. Yeah, it's just, and I get it. It's speaking of, people talk about rivalries and stuff. What's the is it Nalissa Smith?
Mm-hmm.
That Nalissa Smith Angel Reese rivalry is it's pure entertainment.
Yeah.
And
low key the Jewel Lloyd Seattle Storm beef has been a little fun to watch too.
I'm gonna tell you another one that's brewing. And I'm wondering what's gonna end up happening. This whole Rakia Jackson.
Oh yeah, Los Angeles Sparks. Yeah,
Los Angeles Sparks situation, bro. I think the Sparks got a talent wise a good squad. If they can just get it together,
they got some talent.
They got so much talent.
If they can get it together, it's a bunch of teams that I think made bad decisions in their head coach hires. And I think that it's starting to show in a lot of these situations. Like
it's a lot of teams made bad choices and they
Chicago, I think you got Dallas, I think you got the Sparks. They all look very questionable in their coaching hires right now, bro.
Yeah.
And they all got talent, except maybe Chicago. They got some questions. They roster construction is questionable to me, but
Don't even get me started.
yeah, the girls been balling, man. They've
Yeah,
been
I feel bad for
all kind of stuff.
I feel bad for Nice because if Connecticut would have kind of kept that core intact and just added Nice to it, they'd be so nasty right now.
Well, they right down
like they blew that up.
Like Dallas got all this talent, bro, but they need a better big, and I don't know. I just don't think they are at the right coach, but that's just
yeah. But it's early, like you said, it's early. People starting to make roster moves right now. So
right now, I ain't gonna hold you to it, but if you had to put a bet down right now, who you got winning the WNBA chip?
Liberty. I hate to say it because I honestly I want to see a little bit more parity.
I'm going Minnesota.
That ain't bad.
I'm going Minnesota, and I'm going to Fisa Collier for MVP.
I like it. I already told you who I think my rookie pick right now.
Yeah, I see that. She playing right. I think the only thing that could hurt Kiki is Citron.
Yeah.
Like they could pull votes from each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they both gonna get credit for that team's success. You know what I mean? In a way.
I'm gonna tell you who my most improved team is too. The Dream.
Yeah, I mean I don't even know. It's early, so I'm holding my thoughts on the Dream. But this is what they should have been doing last year. But BG has played a factor, I guess. But that's what they should have been doing last year.
Yeah.
But I think Phoenix deserve a lot of credit for how they flipped their roster though.
Yeah.
AT making a big difference over there, bro.
She is. Man, let's get up out of here because we gotta get ready for HBCU hour. HBCU hour talking South Carolina State, Delaware State with our good man Kobe Orr, Blitz City Podcast. Go check them out. But we'll be back maybe later on this week. I don't even know when we'll be back. We'll be back. So everybody tuning in like that. Yeah.